Hi friends, Suzanne here. Welcome to another paper pumpkin alternative video on my YouTube channel and blog. If you're new to my channel, I want to say hi. This video will share alternative projects to stretch your paper pumpkin supplies. If you don't know what paper pumpkin is, click the link in the description box below and check it out. So come along with me as I attempt to create out of the box. This paper pumpkin kit is entitled Sweeter With You. It is for the month of July 2025. Of course, we will go over the stamp set at the end. You got a little Stampin' spot, but I'm going to swap it out for my large pad. And here is the kit very carefully wrapped up in case you have bad weather. These are the instructions. You can see how to use the instructions, or like I do, pitch them in the box and do my own thing. One of the things that I will make mention of, on the back side, you will see a little code and that has the hello and a circle die. And these are really affordable. And if you wanted to add to your stash, this would be a good little die to get. So this is the stamp set. Hello friend, life is sweeter than you. With you, thank you, you're the best, and love you lots. So this is my first alternative, and I did want to make mention that the kit components contain supplies enough for 9 cards and 9 envelopes, and the coordinating Stampin' Up colors are Daffodil Delight, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger. So I am sacrificing this 2 envelopes for this design. I always think of the envelopes as like those guys from Star Trek in the red, the yeomen. You never really got to know their name and they're all gonna die anyway. You know, their sacrifice, the little sacrifice. You always know if they come on an away party, those guys are toast. So, and that's the way I feel about my envelopes. So what I really like the gingham on here, gotta say. And so I cut, I think it was just a little bit more than 1.5 inches, or just shy of 2 inches, I think, each of those envelope pieces. And I'm going to stick them together to make sort of a larger square. I'm using tear tape to do this because it's just on my desk, but you could use, you know, the clear tape that you wrap presents with. That would be perfectly fine too. Anyway, so I put this in my trimmer. I just trimmed it down just a little bit so it would be more even, and then I put it on my card base. And I've often said that I use basic white card bases for my paper pumpkin alternatives because I feel like it's an easy card base to use, and that way I can sort of cut up some of the supplies. And that's exactly what I do. If you don't like the design in paper pumpkin in the kit itself, you don't want that many the same cards, you can do this. So, and honestly, paper pumpkin has come a long way. Like, I've been doing it for years, like since, I don't know, the initial, maybe in 2014, I'm thinking, like maybe even earlier, I think, I can't remember, but anyway. And they were not great. Like, I was going to say another word. They were not great some, you know, early on, but they are getting consistently better and better and better. So these are super cute. Like, I love the fact that they give you the card bases that are front and back so that I can, if I wanted to, just cut them down the center and utilize as many of the card bases, or, you know, double my card bases. So here's my basic white card base. I cut away some of those, one of the strawberries with the leaves, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a strawberry wreath. So what I ended up doing was just using my Seal Plus. That is my favorite adhesive, even though I cut it all out of this video, but I'm telling you, we had an argument and that was almost pitched across the room, getting frustrated. It tangled up on itself, and sometimes it's just not worth it. Like, just make sure that you have extra on hand so you can toss it out. Anyway, we're fine now. We're all good. But I started with the leaves with the strawberries first. I put them on so that they're flat on the page. And then all these other strawberries, I put dimensional adhesive on. And I use all but one. And that one is gonna, I'll mention it in card number 2 because I ended up using it there. So I also used the little strawberry flowers as well to fill in my wreaths. So, and actually when I was looking at this, I thought, oh, how cute these would be if you cut them and made them look like little fried eggs. So I'm always thinking about stuff like that, a little weird. Anyway, these are on a roll of glue dots, but you have dots in your kit. I just don't tend to use them because they have a release paper, and I can't be bothered with release paper while I'm filming. I have a packet of them that I don't know, I'm hoarding, maybe for another reason. Who knows, maybe I'll need them for something one day. Isn't that what we always say? And then all of a sudden we have a stack of stuff that we don't need. Anyway, don't bug me. Or I would love for you to, well, I wonder how many people hoard stuff like that in their craft stashes and think that, oh, eventually you'll use it. I think guys too will, use stuff like that with their wood pilings and their, decidedly masculine crafty stuff. Anyway, okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. I made a wreath. I filled in the gaps. Now I'm going in with my embossing buddy on black cardstock. I'm using Versamark ink, which is a clear sticky ink. And what I will do is ink up my stamp and then stamp it down and then cover that with embossing powder. So this is white embossing powder. Stampin' Up does sell it. The company I believe is called Wow. So anyway, I did 2. The first one I didn't like so much. The second one I did. So oftentimes when I heat emboss, I usually heat emboss from the bottom up, especially when it's a thinner paper. This paper is exceptionally thick, so I didn't want to do that. And I let my heat tool heat up for a minute before I hit it to my project. And then I waited a second for it to dry before I decided to fussy cut it out. So one of the things in order to up your designs is to sort of cut out the sentiments like this, and that's the reason why we have die cut machines and dies, to be honest. But you don't have to have all of that. You can just cut your sentiments out, have a really good sharp pair of scissors and cut away. And I will allow you to know that these little paper snips, Stampin' Up unfortunately won't be carrying them for a while, who knows? The company that's making them is going out of business, I guess. And so the ones that Stampin' Up has are the final ones, and you might not be able to get them anymore. They are looking for alternatives. So just saying. Anyway, moving on to card number 2. That was a little insider information. I hope you find that helpful. Anyway, this is card number 2, and I have cut out a circle on the front part. These dies I use all the time. They're called Stylish Shape dies. I have to say that very specifically because you could mess that word up and have an accident. Okay, so I've cut, this is a really cute card front, and I am cutting it down. So this is, I think it's about 3.5. Anyway, I'm using the tear tape that comes in the kit. So I'm showing you, like, I probably could have just used a spot of glue. I am kind of trying to stay within the kit supplies because I have had a few people say, well, you have all the things. And I do have all the things because I'm a demonstrator and that's what you do. And also I have full set syndrome and I can't control myself when shopping. So anyway, but what happens if you don't have all the things? And you don't have to have all the things. So I'm showing you what you could use in your paper pumpkin kit. So that was the tear tape that comes in your kits. And I have a nice selection of them. I don't use them all the time. Anyway, so I haven't taken the release paper off. But I'm putting a little bit of a splash of garden green on my cardstock. I gave you a close up so that you can see how pretty and fine that is. And sometimes you just need that. And then that 3.5 piece square piece, I took the release paper off the tear tape. And then this is that strawberry, the last strawberry. I'm putting that on. So, and then I've used and argued with my Seal Plus with some adhesive on these little strawberry flowers. I don't know why I didn't use the glue dots, maybe I just like getting frustrated. I don't know. And now they remind me of fried eggs. Cheese. Sometimes. Okay, so I didn't use garden green this time. I used strawberry slush, which is a coordinating color. And like I said, I have full set syndrome. So therefore I have this color and it's lovely. And I wanted to do it in strawberry slush as opposed to garden green. So, you do you. If you have it, use it. If you don't, then, green would do just fine. And again, I'm fussy cutting. We call this, I think fussy cutting is a term that comes from like sewing. Anyway, and it just means like cutting out, leaving a little bit around and going in and fussy cutting. So I fussy cut that sentiment. I put a dimensional on the back side, and that is that card. Now, I always ask, which card is your favorite? First, second, and third. I don't get upset. They're like my children. I love them all, but I'm curious to know what you think. So if you wanted to, you can put your selection at the very end of the video in the comments section. I get a lot of interaction if you do comment, so I do appreciate it. And you know what, while you're there, if you want to subscribe to me, that'd be great too. It really does help my small channel grow. Anyway, so I have all these card bases, and I'm cutting them down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So they're already at 5 1/2, so I only have to cut 4 1/4, and I have 3 of them. So I'm using sort of more this one would be more solid, the other one has a gingham, and then the last one, or the first one, was that strawberry one that was very busy. So I have 3 pieces here. So what we're going to do, I think this is called the fault line technique. So I put them together, 2 of them, and I ripped them towards myself. So I probably just could have left it like that, but I did take a middle piece out, and then I even cut that down even further because you have to rip these towards you, and I didn't get that white core that I was looking for, but I'll figure it out in a second. So I wanted to leave that in so that you can see that I'm not perfect, and sometimes I do things and my brain doesn't work all the time, right? So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these 2 pieces together, leaving a little bit of space, and you can see how pretty that is, that solid piece underneath, the gingham on the top. And here I'm thinking, okay, which is going to give me that white rip, and I just took just a teeny bit off. Now I am trying to conserve the strawberry cards because I have a couple more projects that I have to do, and these ones are for PDFs that eventually, if you are a subscriber of mine, you can get one for free, and then if you just wanted to purchase one of the tutorials, you can purchase them on my blog. I'll put a link in the description. So the bottom part here I'm adhering together just like I did the top 2. You can I am trying to make sure that everything is nice and even. What happens though if it's uneven, you can just use your scissors and cut off either side. So you can see that's how it would normally go, but I am trying to be frugal with my paper, so I'm only applying that berry paper on the end of my first fault line. Now I'm going to use the bottom one, and I'm just going to eyeball it. So here, I'll show you what I mean. So here I'm putting the card front, I guess, down, and then I'm just going to sort of eyeball where I'm going to put the bottom. And then I'll adhere that, and then I'll cut off the strawberry bit, hopefully being able to use that strip, which I did, utilize that card. So I was just being frugal, but normally what I would do is just have 3 pieces, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then just adhere them to your card base. So hopefully you're picking up what I'm throwing down. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments. I find that my audience are the smartest paper crafters ever, and if you put something down there, somebody else might answer. Sometimes I don't see it for a while, the comments. Anyway, yeah, I've been really busy this last month, and especially this last couple weeks. I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately. Because of that, I am working like 10 hours at the salon stand, and I'm exhausted. By the time I get home, I barely make dinner, and then I fall asleep on the couch before I go to bed. I'm getting old, you guys. Anyway, I fussy cut this sentiment out really tightly, and I just use black ink for the Hello Friend sentiment. And I put a strip of dimensional adhesive on the back side, and this is my third and final card. Make sure that you vote which one you like the best. And again, thank you so much for spending time with me today, for all the comments you leave, and for the thumbs up and all the YouTubey things. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. It really helps my small channel grow. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.